Tonight, we all wanted some pupusas with homemade encurtido. That's like a pickled cabbage on top. Oof.
Good though, huh? Cheese
and stuff.
My mom's from Honduras, so she rarely ever made pupusas. And luckily, I had a bestie. Her parents owned a food truck, and they made the best pupusas. They were from Salvador. So this is the way I make my pupusas. I stuff them with cheese and jalapeno, or with chorizo and beans, or carnitas and beans. And they're so good. Yeah. Now I buy my masa from the grocery store called Amapola, and all I have to add to my corn masa is a little bit of salt, and that's it. Now I buy some Oaxaca cheese, and I cut that up to make it a little bit easier to handle. Now I had purchased carnitas the day before for breakfast, so this is the leftover, and even though it's cold and refrigerated, look at how soft and tender that is. So I'm going to chop that up really fine as I can get it, and I'm going to mix that with refried beans. And I also made chorizo. I cooked up the chorizo very well, and then I also mixed that with a little bit of refried beans. So those are my two stuffings so far. Now I'm going to get a little bit of masa and put that in my hand and kind of shape it into like a cup shape, like a little bowl. And then put my stuffing in there with some cheese. And then I'm going to start to pinch it closed. Now, I'm not the best at this. I'm still learning. And what does help is a little bit of water sometimes. So now I'm going to start rounding it a little bit, kind of into a tortilla shape. And then flatten it out, like I said, with a little bit of water. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's fine if it tears. I actually prefer when like the cheese oozes out of them anyways. Somebody wanted jalapeno with cheese. Those are one of my favorites. And like I said, you just pinch it into a little ball and then you start shaping it into like a gordita and then flatten it as much as you can. I would say probably like a 1/4 inch of thickness is what you're looking for. And then I put that on my skillet with just a little bit of oil, not that much. And it's set on a medium heat. And I just flip those over a couple of times until they're nice and brown and melted inside. And then you're ready to serve.